Hello everyone. In this video, we will go through a product design question to design a meditation app. Okay, so introduction, I'm Karan. I'm currently working as a product manager at Volt, DoorDash International in Germany. And okay, so we can begin with the question of how do we want to design a meditation app? Okay, so let's at least lay out the high level approach. Um, Context, because it's most likely a startup will directly move to will will see if there is any goal. If not, then like directly will move to problems and solutions and measure success and risks. So let's build up the context. Okay, meditation app. Let's first of all define meditation. At least in my opinion, meditation is more about like mental health, uh, peace, reducing anxiety, and not necessarily doing things such as yoga. So I would exclude yoga as out of scope for meditation, but it's more about and probably adopting some exercises, meditation exercises that focus on the peace of mind rather than the body. Okay, so at least that is a very broad definition of how we should be focusing on meditation and what should be in scope versus out of scope. And I'm also assuming that this is for a startup, not necessarily for a big firm such as Google or Meta. And let's also assume that this is a completely new product and a new company. So the goal and mission of the company is to eventually make sure that they are focusing on acquiring users. So the goal is to obviously acquire users, essentially market share. And that will also be somewhat the mission of the company, like provide mental peace, uh, provide better mental health to their users. Let's something on those lines. In terms of competition, there is obviously Calm and Headspace. So competition, we have Calm and Headspace. They have been somewhat the market leaders in ensuring good meditation. So we need to make sure that we provide certain functionalities that are standing out. They are advanced and create like a proper market differentiation out in the market. Um, okay, so let's actually begin with the users. So from a user perspective, we could have different types of behavioral set of users. One could be, let's say, students. Uh, then we could have early professionals and late stage professionals, business folks, um, and others. And finally, there would be, let's say, no profession, no work, or like nothing to really worry about from an occupational perspective. So students would more or less lie in the age group of, let's say, teens to um, new adults. And these would be new adults to, oh, let's just keep it as adults for now. And late stage professionals, these are mature aged people, and this is most likely elderly. Um, okay. Now, from a mental health perspective, no work or elderly people are those people that are relatively stable in life. They might not have as many mental health issues or anxiety issues as other segments of the group because they might be worried about work, success, ambitions, and things like that. So for that reason, we can exclude no work or the elderly population. Then there are late stage professionals or successful business folks. Um, So in this particular stage, like either I am pretty well settled from a from an occupation perspective, my job or my business is in place, not really worried about career ambition success. At the same time, I have family. Family also brings in like a sense of stability in my life. Okay. Now in given that in mind, I would also probably exclude this particular user segment from my priority list. Now we have these early professionals slash hustlers. These are those people that have just moved out of college, or they are either in college, struggling to either look for a job, struggling with, let's say, education. There might be other hustles that they might be looking into. So actually, to even make it even like broad and holistic in terms of a user segmentation perspective, I see that these folks are probably falling in one group. They are either students, early professionals, or essentially hustlers. Um, so let's actually phrase it in this way. So hustlers, and they are hustling in either studies, they are either hustling in profession, or they are probably hustling in terms of establishing some sort of a business or freelancing thing. So these are the ones that are actually more likely to be stressed about career ambition, might not have a very stable life when it comes to personal well-being as well. So from that perspective, I think this is a very good target segment to crack in terms of the meditation app space. So this is what I would do. Obviously, the parameters would be TAM, growth, and whether we can reach them. I think from a TAM perspective, yes, this is a very wide population. So if we, let's say, look at US or India as a potential target country, let's say India. So hopefully 30% of the population will be this segment, and within 30% of the overall population, which is, let's say, how much? 30% of 1.4 billion people, which is roughly 400 million people. So out of 400 million people, let's assume like a haircut of 50% who would have access to mobiles, might be facing mental health issues. So we have like a very good, huge segment of 200 million people that we can actually target. They are a growing segment. There is obviously increasing mental anxiety, health issues, and we should be definitely be able to cater to them if we design a product focused towards them. Okay, so now let's actually look at the pain points of these hustler segment. The first issue that I can actually think of is I'm not aware of meditation as a concept in general. Like, what do I have to do? Uh, what do I have to do? Or what exercises do I have to follow? And things like that. Um, will I be, let's say, considered sick in some way, like, mentally sick in some way, because it could be considered as a taboo. So I think these issues are definitely important. Then there could be, let's say, overwhelming number of options out in the market. Now, overwhelming number of options, first of all, not only in terms of players, but also overwhelming number of options from meditation exercise perspective. Like, what are the exercises? Um, there are probably hundreds and thousands of exercises which to choose, which is relevant for me, and things like that. So I think this is another angle that is quite important. And then um, and then some sort of let's say sense of achievement. So uh, something like, am I actually getting better? I'm not seeing changes in myself over a period of time. So we need to assure them that yes, it is actually working. You just have to be patient and keep on doing it. Only then you will be able to reap the benefits and see the changes. So I think these are the three big pain points that I can actually think of when it comes to hustlers user segment. Now, let's look at the severity of the pain point. Then it could be prevalence of the pain point, whether we will be able to solve the pain point, and goal. Does the pain point help us achieve the goal? So I think in this case, let's strike off the goal, because we know that we are very, very focused in terms of designing a meditation app. So let's look at the severity of the pain point and the prevalence of the pain point. Now, we are talking about students, early professionals. I think they are very well educated. And I think even the meditation, the concept of meditation and mental anxiety is probably going to be more relevant for urban population to begin with. And in my opinion, they must be aware enough about meditation. They must not think about mental health as like a taboo topic. And they must have like a decent idea about meditation as a concept, and they actually can benefit from it. So with that particular rationale in mind, I would probably exclude I would probably consider the severity of this awareness issue as slightly lower priority. But I think the overwhelming number of options from a meditation exercise perspective is slightly more nuanced, and even educated students or educated professionals might not know what meditation exercise should I follow so that I can get proper benefits. So let's say that if I have imposter syndrome anxiety, what do I have to specifically do? If I have, let's say, depression related issues related to personal well-being, what exact meditation exercises do I have to follow? I think there are so many exercises out there, and obviously from a commercialized perspective, it's very difficult for me to understand as a normal person, not as an expert, as to what will be relevant for me and what will provide me the best benefit. So I think this severity pinpoint is definitely high, and the prevalence is also going to be very high. Now, sense of achievement, I think it comes after we have onboarded certain people onto the platform, and then they are facing this issue of sense of achievement, that okay, am I actually getting better? Am I seeing changes in myself? Because I have been meditating for the past 1 month, I do not know whether I'm seeing changes, because it's such a subjective and qualitative topic. So we need to make sure that we are instilling confidence and assurance in the minds of our users that no, it's actually working. But again, I see this as a step two. After we have users onboarded, acquired, and given that we are a new startup, we need to design a new meditation app. I think the main focus in the beginning should be ensuring that we are creating a platform that ensures easy user onboarding or user acquisition for the meditation app. So for those reasons, let's keep this one overwhelming number of options as the most severe pain point and the most prevalent pain point that we should be targeting. Okay, now we have solutions. So let's think of solutions. We from an overwhelming number of options perspective, like one thing that I can definitely think of is something like mood-based meditation. This is more on the lines of, okay, I have varying moods. Maybe I'm a mood swings person who has different moods going on every week. So based on my mood, can the meditation app help me determine meditating exercises based on what I feel? And if there is, some connect that we could possibly do with, let's say, some social media platform here. So let's say connect with social network, that can actually help us determine the mood, even automatically. Otherwise, there is also this option of, enter mood manually, and then we suggest meditation exercises for the next X time period, so that we can help with improving their mood and also removing their anxiety. So this is one part of the puzzle. The second thing which we can probably do is some sort of, obviously personalization here, which would be, let's say, based on get inputs of my profile, understand the data points, and based on those data points, recommend me the right exercises. So this is not necessarily just based on mood, but it is not except mood. This is based on other behavioral characteristics. Um, that can be one possibility. It could also be we could also do something on the lines of, you know, maybe there is, let's say, some sort of a community, not necessarily a committee, but we could do user segmentation of all of the people that have onboarded, find similar characteristics, and then come up with and understand what others are doing, understand what others are doing, what's benefiting them. And basically, now we could learn all of these things and recommend relevant exercises for our new base. So this is what we can do, at least from a personalization perspective. And the last one could be something like an AI voice assistant, because let's say that this meditation app is um, just on this meditation app is, touch enabled. So let's say that I have to look I have to look at certain exercises after every 5 minutes within my meditation routine. So that will not help. I want to make sure that if my meditation routine is of 45 minutes or 30 minutes, I do not touch my app or I do not touch the phone for those 30 to 45 minutes. For that, I think AI voice assistant can actually help, wherein it could be just command based. I do not have to touch the app, at least in that routine. It can be command based. It can help me guide through the overall end-to-end routine as to how I feel, um, what is the mood of today, and based on the mood I can get relevant meditation exercises for the next whatever 1 hour 45-minute session, and I do not have to worry about touching the app, constantly looking into the screen, which can possibly create further anxiety. So this is about uh, keeping away from the phone, but at the same time um, adds the end-to-end um, assistant funnel of recommending the right meditation routine for me. Right. And then finally, this is more like a moonshot idea where we could possibly leverage some sort of a AR VR approach. Instead of meditating alone, I can possibly meditate with I can possibly meditate with a group of people. It could be my friends, most likely. And I can have everyone in the same room, meditate along with them. And it could actually create like a slightly positive vibe in terms of tackling my mood, mental health, anxiety, and even sharing our thoughts in the same group as to how you feel. Probably letting out in some situations could be the key to, improving your mental health. So I think this is about group meditation, sharing thoughts with friends, and exercising together. More positive vibe. Yeah. So yeah, so these are basically the solutions that I can currently think of. What else? And this is again just from an overwhelming number of options view. In personalization, I think one more thing that could be done is another data point that could be added is, if let's say I am in the middle of a particular meditation routine that has, let's say, 10 exercises, and if I have done 5 out of the 10, I am consciously making that decision that I complete this meditation routine first and then move to the next one. So this also ensures that I do not I do not get these overwhelming number of options, but because of the fact that I'm already in progress with a particular meditation routine, we make sure that the user is completing that meditation routine to reap the benefits of that one, and then we provide a breather in between, and then finally enable them to move to the next one. So avoids the overwhelming number of options, reduces distractions, and ensures focus. So another angle that can actually help with reducing the overwhelming number of options. Okay, let's now think of how we can prioritize. Okay, so let's prioritize based on impact versus effort and whether it actually solves the pain point. So for mood-based meditation, um, it is definitely going to be helpful in reducing the number of options, because if we are able to detect the mood of an individual, and we are able to properly suggest the right meditation exercises for the next X time period, it is definitely going to be very impactful. Um, if we have certain AI capabilities in-house within this particular startup, I think the effort would more or less be moderate here. So this is at least my high-level understanding of creating the mood-based meditation solution. Um, Another thing that I would actually add is, the level of personalization that we are thinking here would probably can actually probably fall under the mood based solution itself, because mood based is some level of personalization. Mood is one data point um, to determine what meditation exercises we can recommend you. I think personalization is, just leveraging other data points. So all in all, I think it should be a combination of mood plus understanding your profile and understanding what others are doing, what others are doing with the same mood, what's actually benefiting them, and then we recommend exercises for our user base. So this in essence would be a single solution to determine a very personalized and mood-based meditation solution. Another solution is AI voice assistant. Now, the thing here is that Do we want to introduce like a natural language understanding and a generative chatbot, a sort of an assistant that understands all of the nuances that we are probably doing by touching the screen, and then adding the voice layer on top of it? Now, if we make sure that the mood is detected in the right way, and all of the other data points are understood in the right way to give me a meditation routine that can keep me focused and not and keep me away from the app for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour of my routine, then I think the impact of the voice assistant, at least in the beginning, would be low. So let's keep moderate impact. I would say that it is moderate effort because yes, voice assistants have been very, very effective, but I think voice assistants to a good amount of accuracy are important. Otherwise, they can possibly ruin the experience. So in order to keep away from the phone, I think if we design a very good mood based personalized solution in the beginning, we can ensure that the whole routine is decided for the user, so that they do not have to touch the phone again and again, and it assists with the overall end to end funnel just before beginning the meditation routine. So let's say that I'm a user, I'm going to begin a routine for 45 minutes. I determine all of the mood and everything in on the app, and then finally it gives me a full end-to-end routine of 45 minutes, so that I just keep myself away from the phone, and I have a complete process so that I do not get disturbed in the bit in the middle. So hence medium impact. This is definitely going to be large impact, but given the current situation of AR VR, I would also assume that this is large effort. There's also going to be quite a lot of user research to be done to understand actually if this impact is valid, if whether this AR VR solution is actually going to be something that the users need and the users will actually adopt it on a day-to-day basis. Because if the investment is going to be high, we need to make sure that the usage is also high. Otherwise, the large impact that we are hypothesizing here can be at risk. So I would say something like large or TBD based on research, based on further further in further analytical or research inputs that we could find to determine the feasibility of this solution. Okay, so with that, I will prioritize the mood-based meditation here based on the highest impact. Let's look at the success. In terms of the North Star, I would say that the number of users acquired would be the biggest uh, victory here. And in terms of supporting matrix, I think ensuring that they are interacting um, with the app consistently, the number of meditation routines successfully done, and interaction with the app, number of meditation routines successfully done, which is essentially conversion percentage. Um, what else? I would also make sure that this mood-based solution is actually helping determine the meditation routine by itself. So mood-based personalized solution. So routines, percentage routines created with mood-based personalized solution. I would also consider something like a weekly active user. From a guardrail perspective, I'll keep a note on churn. And here I would keep a note on retention. I'll keep a note on churn. I'll keep a note whether this mood-based personalized solution is giving me wrong recommendations, and whether the meditation is actually helping users. Because if it's not helping and if we do not have any way to track it, then it's going to be a problem to show the ROI for our users that, you know what, you are investing X amount of time on our app and you are getting these benefits. If we are unable to show these benefits, it could be a potential risk. So we need to make sure that the meditation is actually helping users in some way. Okay, let's look at the risk. I think the first risk has been described in the guardrail matrix itself, which is mood-based personalized solution probably giving wrong recommendations. I think this is probably going to be risky. And we also need to make sure that we are creating some sort of a market differentiation in the competitors. So this is also worth keeping a note of. So if our mood-based personalized solution is actually better than Calm and Headspace, pretty good. I'm not really aware of how Calm and Headspace works, but this is again something that we need to take care of. Another potential risk would be obviously awareness of meditation as a concept and probably looking at taboo topics as we expand. So this is more from an expansion perspective. When we look at expansion to let's say tier 2, tier 3 cities, then awareness of meditation and then the taboo concept of, you know, mental health uh, can come into being, and which would probably be risks to consider. Now, another issue that we might want to look into is something related to regulatory um, approvals. I'm not sure if meditation apps need regulatory approvals, but given that it is somehow associated with health, we need to make sure that we are running through all of the regulatory approvals and double checking whether this is something that needs any approval, or do we need any clinical or mental health or some sort of a psychological expert here on board, so that we know what we are doing, and all of the meditation related courses or any routines or regimes that we are providing are all approved. So that's another risk to keep in mind. Okay, I think uh, looks good. Okay, and I did not start the stopwatch, but should probably be again 30 to 35 minutes overall. Let me actually check. Yeah, probably roughly around 30 minutes. So to summarize, we were tasked to design a meditation app, and we first of all cleared the high level scope and the goal of this meditation app. We said that we want to acquire users and gain some market share. Uh, we want to also make sure that we are providing a good enough value differentiation in the market that proves us at least at par or better than Calm and Headspace. From a user segment perspective, we want to target the hustler segment, which is essentially students and early professionals who are um, anxious, ambitious, might not have the best stability when it comes to personal and professional lives. And given that we are also targeting this population from a tier 1 perspective, the it's not the awareness that can be an issue in the beginning, but it's probably the overwhelming number of meditation options and the nuances to consider that will be the biggest pain point for us to tackle. And for that particular pain point, we came up with a mood-based personalized meditation solution that can take in inputs of all of your data points, such as profile data points, looking at others, your mood, comparing with other moods, or comparing with moods of other people, and then understanding what's going to benefit and recommending based on that. There could also be some progress bar related features that actually narrows down of what you see and keeps your focus on completing something before moving on to something else. From a success perspective, we want to make sure that we are getting the number of users, and then eventually we try to make them stick to our platform. So that's essentially our success. And finally, when we look at risks, we need to just make sure that because it's health related, some regulations, awareness as we expand, awareness slash taboo related concerns as we expand, hopefully we create some market differentiation with this particular solution is also something to keep in mind. And if are we going to recommend anything wrong would be another concern. So keeping all of these points in mind, we have determined and designed a meditation app for a startup to cater to hustler segment. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, if you like the content, do subscribe, and also like. Any questions, ping in comments. And if you are interested in doing a mock interview, the link is in the description, and you can schedule a free mock interview that so that we can practice together. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.